Our next guest this morning has been your state representative for the past 14 years. He's very popular down here in the Keys, so he doesn't need too much of an introduction. Ron, thank you for being with us this morning.
Good to be here.
Yes, and good to see you, old friend.
Now, Ron, is it a little bittersweet for you to be no longer the state representative after this year?
Well, I've served in the House, but I've risen to the top position I can as a Democrat. I'm the Democratic leader for the House, and so when an open Senate seat comes available, I thought it'd be something to run for. We have not had a senator from the Keys over 40 years. John Spotswood, the late John Spotswood, was our last senator. So to have somebody in the state Senate that understands the needs of the Keys and our unique situation, and then have someone in the House that will take my seat, all three people running are from the Keys. So we'll have someone from the Keys in the House and hopefully in the Senate, and that'll be the best situation I think we can have for us.
Okay, what's your platform that you're running on, Ron?
Well, obviously, for Key-specific things, we want to complete the wastewater funding. We got $50 million this year. The first segment of a 4-year plan of $150 million more to come. We want to complete that because we just saw that our wastewater fees just in the lower Keys will be $5,700 per household, and that's pretty high. So we'd like to get more money from the state. Obviously, jobs is always a big deal down here, affordable housing, so protecting our environment. So all those are issues I've been working on, but to be one out of 40 senators as opposed to one out of 120 House members, that voice will be stronger.
Very strong.
Ron, one of the reasons I know we haven't had a state Senate seat in the past is the makeup of the district as far as the mainland goes. Has that changed with the redistricting?
It's changed somewhat. My current House seat goes from Key West to Kendall. I have all the Keys in part of Dade County. The Senate seat's even bigger because there's 3 times as many House members as senators, so obviously the Senate seats are 3 times the size. The Senate seat I'm running for is currently held by Larcenia Bullard. She cannot run again because of term limits, and that has been changed a little bit, but it has all of Monroe County, part of Dade County, has Homestead, Florida City, it goes up into Perrine and Goulds, and it goes across the airport into Overtown, Liberty City. So it's a pretty strange part of Dade County. Then it has part of Collier County, Immokalee. Then it has all of Hendry County, Clewiston, LaBelle. So it goes from Key West to Immokalee, LaBelle, to Overtown, to Homestead. So it's a big district, but it's similar to the current seat, but it's one of the largest Senate districts in the state.
And will that makeup make it any easier for you to win that seat?
Well, the good thing is that I'm in a Democratic primary because it's a Democratic seat.
Right.
President Obama got 71%, Alex Sink got 68% against Rick Scott. So whoever wins the primary will win it. It's a 5-way race, but I'm the only one from the Keys.
Right.
And so we have several people from Dade County running, and so there's no runoff. First place wins, and with a strong vote from the Keys, we feel pretty good that we'll do well. I have a shot because I also have pretty good name recognition in Dade County. Yeah, I've been in the legislature on and off since 1986. I've represented Dade the whole time, just different parts of it. So I think I have a good chance of getting my share of votes in the Dade County area and also in the outside areas because I'm not from Dade County. It's actually an advantage because they're like we are. We never see our state senator down here. She stays up in Dade County.
Right.
But Collier and Hendry County have the same situation. So I'm kind of using that as saying I will visit you. I'll be there. You'll see me after I get elected as well as when I'm running.
Who's running on the Republican side?
One guy at Homestead named Scott Hopes, but he has no hope of winning. But what he did, though, unfortunately, was he closed the primary. By doing what he did, now only Democrats can vote in the primary, which hurts me because Monroe County, as you know, is 1/3 Republican, 1/3 Democrat, and 1/3 no party affiliation. So now only the Democrats in Monroe County can vote in the primary. I would have liked to have had an open primary, so a lot of my Republican friends could vote for me, but unfortunately it is what it is. But we still think we have a really good chance in the primary. It's just that it'll have to be, they'll have to vote for me in November now if you're a Republican or no party affiliation.
Okay. Biggest goals, Ron, if you were to be elected? What would be your biggest goals? What you'd want to change?
Well, several things. One is obviously reforming citizens' property insurance. They've been a real drag on our economy, whether it's the reinspection program that's taking away people's mitigation credits, whether it's trying to raise the rates on new customers, whether it's denying builders risk, whether it's denying coverage for transient rentals. All those things have a tremendous impact on our local economy, and citizens' property insurance, I think, is out of control. I just was on a panel Monday night in Miami, and the new president of Citizens participated in the panel, and I explained to him all the problems we're having with citizens' property insurance. We also need that wastewater funding. There's another $150 million out there that we'd like to capture, and also funding our schools. I'm a product of the Monroe County school system. I went to Truman Elementary School when it was a school, Horace O'Brien, and I graduated from Key West High School, and I'm proud of our school system, but we're having tough times, and we need to make sure the state steps up to the plate with the funding that we need for our public schools and, truthfully, our college down here. I was also chairman of the board of Florida Keys Community College. My dad passed legislation in the 60s that created it, along with John Spotswood, and so I certainly have a lot of pride in the college down here too. So I think funding for education is also very important.
Okay. Well, you know, what's the main reason why people need to vote for you two as opposed to the others?
Well, I think the most important thing is to have someone from the Keys in the state senate. As I said, it's been over 40 years, almost 50 years since we've had someone down here, and I think we've seen the result. For example, the wastewater funding, there was no money in the Senate budget. Even though Senator Bullard represents us, she didn't put any money in the budget. The $50 million was in the House budget, then I had to go work the Senate to get it. So obviously having someone in the House and the Senate from the Keys will be an enormous help to us, because being from the Keys, you understand the unique needs down here, and I think having a senator that's lived here, that's born here, and has represented us will be very helpful to us.
Okay. Now you travel up and down the Keys all the time, Ron. What's the response you're hearing from citizens? You know, what are their major concerns? What are they telling you they want fixed?
Well, the things we've talked about, basically windstorm insurance is always an issue, property taxes, although with the values dropping, that hasn't been as hot an issue lately. The schools, you know, there's a lot of concern about what's going on in our school system down here. So, you know, health care is always an issue. We want to make sure that people get adequate health care. I'm a strong supporter, for example, of Healthy Start. I sponsored the legislation back in the 90s to give prenatal care because it saves us money in low birth weight baby care. So things like that I have a very big interest in, because the people do. You know, and we have to make sure that we can make it affordable to live here. I mean, it's really tough for people between taxes and insurance and mortgages and everything else. You know, I've had a lot of friends of mine leaving the Keys. Let's make the Keys affordable so they'll stay here and raise their families here.
Did the head of Citizens have any response when you confronted him with all our issues?
He said he was new to the job and he's willing to listen, and so we're gonna hold his feet to the fire.
Well, good. I know that is probably one of the main issues I hear out there, the citizen insurance.
But we're very fortunate. We have Commissioner Carruthers and Firm and all the folks there, and they're working with me, and we're going to try to communicate that message that citizens property insurance is important to our economy. They need to straighten up their act, and hopefully they'll turn around and become a better for all of us in the Keys.
They actually proposed denying coverage to a lot of new homeowners, right?
Denying or raising the rates beyond what they are supposed to raise them, and so we certainly are concerned with the impacts that citizens property insurance has. Windstorm insurance is very important to us, and we need to make sure that citizens, which we all have a part of, should be more responsive to our needs.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing all of this with us this morning, Ron.
Thank you.
And please check out his website, everyone. If you want his contact information, you can find it on there. And thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Ron.
Pleasure.
We're going to be right back after these messages. Stay with us.